going on, YouTube? I am Manny Lagunas back at it again with another episode right here on Bowie Films. The story of Patra Rhodes-Wilson coming at you live and direct with my homegirl, the one, the only, Patra Rhodes-Wilson. Before I ask her, the chit-chat conversation, we want to apologize on behalf of Bowie Films and my co-host, Michael Bowie's big ass head. Y'all know Michael, Vivo, got more head than he got body. We had some technical difficulties last Friday, but as always, you know where to catch all of our episodes right here on Bowie Films. Hit subscribe. Friday nights, 10 p.m. Today is Tuesday, 10 p.m. Still here. You know how we do. So, Patra, how you doing?
I'm doing great. It was a good day, and I'm ready to record. I was geeked last week. I was really geeked last week, and so yeah, my mom is actually here to watch it live. So we're gonna see what she thinks. She has no idea what I'm gonna say.
Tell her to subscribe. Patra's mom, if you're watching this, hit subscribe right now.
I did last. So.
Okay. Well, anybody else watching this right now, hit subscribe for me. So last Friday, like I said, Friday nights, 10 p.m. is when we come on live here on the story of. Last week was the 24th. So Merry Christmas. Those of you my co-host, the good Reverend Michael Bowie, celebrates Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah. I'm not really sure, but Michael, I went ahead and made a basket for you. Did not work out last week, so I have here for you today. Let me show you. Just a small gift. I got a few here for you. First one, do rag. Keep your hair right, Michael. You have to keep your hair right. Some cocoa butter. I can see you ashy from way out here. I know you ashy, Michael. Come on. Watermelon right here, fresh watermelon. Like it. Put 2 slices in there for you. If any of the single ladies watching this want to share some watermelon with Michael, hit him in his DMs. Grape drink. It's literally called grape drink, Michael. I don't know. I just know black people like grape drink. And listen, I hope any white people at home watching this, I hope you get offended. And last but not least, I know your glasses are fake, so I got you some real prescription glasses, Michael. Let me know. Are you still at 123 Brokeback Mountain Boulevard? Are you still there? Do I send it there or no?
That's funny.
Okay.
Because in the season of giving, I got you some stuff too, man. I felt like, yep. You already know. So I know that you guys like chips and salsa, right? So I got you guys some chips and salsa there for you. Yeah, that's right up your alley with some chips and salsa, right? I also, let's see what else I got you. Ooh, just to wash it down. Some Jose Cuervo, some tequila, a little bit of tequila for you. You can pour that up, right? Ooh, this is one that you can, when you're driving, not after the alcohol, because you want to drive when you're sober. But here you go, a rosary with Jesus on it. You can hang it right inside of your windshield, right there.
Jesus!
Yes, Jesus for you. Oh, and lastly but not least, but the best one ever, I know that you have a girlfriend, and so you have a little Latina girlfriend, between the two of you guys, we gonna go ahead and get you some of these, because you guys like to have kids. You guys like to have a lot of kids, so we want to make sure that we give you that variety pack, so that we don't have a lot of little ones running around. Little ones, and I stress the word little. But here we are. The story with Patra Rhodes-Wilson. How are you today?
I'm great. Y'all you know what? I never know what to expect from you guys. So, yeah.
Now, for anybody watching, I have noticed there is still a little bit of audio issue, so we're going to push through it and try and make sure that everything is as good. I don't know what the issue is, but hopefully we can get it all figured out. Right now we're running smoothly. We are going to pick it up where we left off. Patra, 8th grade is where we were kind of talking about everything leading up to the end of that. how did that 8th grade year end for you?
So 8th grade ended where I was attending McCourt Renaissance. That was the gifted middle school. And if you're from Harvard, they like to, they make a big deal about, we had 3 middle schools. So it was King, where King was considered the best school. It was literally across the street from McCourt. And then McCourt was the school where all the smart kids went. You were gifted, went there, or fair play, where you just went. And so out of my 5th grade class, everybody went to McCourt except 2 people. So I ended 8th grade at McCourt, and then which I wanted to go on to the high school to continue to my music. And so we actually moved from back to Ben Harbor because we were traveling. My parents, my mom, my stepfather was driving me to McCourt or to Benton Harbor every day and picking me up and taking me back to South Haven every day when I was, for the most part of 8th grade. I would say all of 8th grade. Yeah. And so which South Haven to Benton Harbor is at least an hour drive. But in the winter times, it's so much worse because South Haven is surrounded around Lake Michigan. So if in the winter time, it's cold. The wind, the weather there is normally super, super bad. So yeah.
Did you continue on to dance? Is the question.
I didn't start dancing until high school.
Okay.
Or publicly dancing until high school. Now, I've always
just about your music. You was about your music.
I was about my music. I've wanted to do music. My cousin Sammy, who was murdered when he was 6th grade, he played the violin. He was the slightly hood dude that was in the orchestra. Which
he was murdered in the 6th grade?
No, he was murdered when he was 16. When he was 16. And so he is still young. Young. And so and he was gifted as well. So we were both on that same gifted track. He went to McCourt as well. And so when I was young, he was 8 years older than me. I was like, I want to go to McCourt. I want to do music. Didn't want to do the orchestra, but I want to do music. He was like, you can do all of it. You're so smart. You're this, you're that. And so those were my goals in the 1st grade. I was like, I'm going to McCourt. I'm going to be in the big band. Once I get to high school, I'm going to continue on that path. But he was murdered when he was 16 years old. So yeah. But that's what I did. I did what he did. I, followed the path of getting good grades and continuing on my music because that was my passion. So once I got into high school in the summertime, in my high school, the band was being a part of the TMB. It's called the Tiger Marching Band. Was considered a varsity sport. You got a varsity letter for it. You got the same clout as the captain of the basketball team. I'm gonna use that as the same thing. Okay,
it's like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. When there was pep rallies or a big basketball game, and we were the basketball team was leaving, we would go play. We got to leave school early too. Mm-hmm. We got to we had the same clout they did.
Y'all
the
had
same
hoes?
time.
Y'all had the hoes? You guys had hoes? Basketball players had hoes.
There was the boys in the band who had it was the same thing. Honestly, it was the same thing except we did music. Our talent was music and theirs was basketball. Mm-hmm. We got they would get uniforms. We got shirts. We got the same thing, the same treatment. Our treatment, it was top tier. If you was in the TMB, you had a little clout on you. And if you was good, if you could dance, I always helped with the dance routines. And so, which is, I know y'all interviewed Will Baker Sled before, but he was my drum major. He became the drum major. We got to find out who the drum major was the last graduation day. So after the graduation is over, all the students leave that have graduated. That's when our band director would tell us who the drum major was. And so Willie became a drum major, and it was up from there. It was up from there. And so honestly, as he was always popular, I got more popular myself. Right? Because we danced together. But when we danced together, a lot of people didn't like that because that's what he was known for. He was known for pop locking and drop jitting and all that, and just all that. He was known for that. And once he chose, me, we went to Upper Bound together. I don't know if y'all know what Upper Bound is. It's a summer program where you stay on the college campus, and you're staying on college campus with other, I would say, low income schools that's in low income areas. That's what I'm gonna say. So even though I was from Ben Harbor, we would do Upper Bound in Kalamazoo, Western Michigan University in Kalamazoo, and it would be Muskegon Heights, Grand Rapids School. There would be some Detroit schools. There would be Covert High School. There would be all these other schools, which was a lot of pretty much minorities. There was very few white kids, and there was a lot of minority kids. The college kids would be our campus, like counselors, and that's what we did. So at the end of the program was a talent show. And I was like, I'll be in your talent show. I learned the choreograph quick, and that was the rest is history. And we danced together until after we graduated, years later.
Now
we danced together.
You said that your popularity kind of springboarded when you got to know him. Was your popularity coming into high school? Were you not popular, or?
I would just say I was just regular, like just a regular girl. Like, I mean, I was cute. I dressed fresh, as we call it, dressed fresh. I was a sneaky head. I've been a sneaky head literally since I was like 5 years old. So, but once like I stepped outside the box, right? I remember, and I'm going to go back a little bit in 8th grade. 8th grade, in McCord, we had a band too. And our band we high stepped and did the same similar things as the high school. And the director of the middle school band, which, he was like, okay, whoever want to be on the committee to make the dance routine, stay after school on this particular day. So I decided to stay after school. I was scared as hell. I decided to stay after school, but nobody had a routine. Now, before this, leading up to this, I had went home and I was practicing every day for a whole routine for all the songs we was playing. And nobody made a routine. Everybody was just sitting there. And the band director was like, who's going? Y'all supposed to be making a routine. And I did all my routines. There's a little bit of snippet of the routines we done. And he was like, we doing it. And they was mad. We already did that. He was like, nobody came here with a routine except her. She came together, so we doing every routine. And that year, they did every routine that I created. So it just stemmed from that. I've had a headache my entire life. So like, it just stemmed on from that. So once I started dancing with Maurice, that was like being Secret Service of Barack Obama. Like you with the goat? Right. We don't like it. The first time that I danced with him, we had to show a snippet of the routine to whoever was over the whatever, and they almost booed us. And it was because of me. They was asking him like, "Why is she dancing with you?" and woo woo. And I had told him, I was like, "Okay, I don't want to make you look bad. Like you are the best." And he was like, "No, you gonna get up there and dance, and you gonna wear that stage out." And that's exactly what I did. And every single thing, and they was like, "Oh, I know you dance in the next talent show. I know you dance in the next talent show. Oh, y'all want to be my friends?"
Right.
But it escalated from that aspect. At that point, I continued to dance, continued to be on the dance team for the band. I was in every type of sport, or not sport, but activity, because that's what I wanted to do. But also, like at home, my stepfather, as I told you, my stepfather, he got hurt on a job. It had to be around 8th grade. So he ended up suing them, but it took some time. Right, this is my first time ever dealing with something like that. Like I was a teenager, but it took some time. So he wasn't like working there anymore. It was like paying him like workman's comp or something like that. So he wasn't like working there anymore. So he would like take me to school. He was a good stepfather. And so I had heard through the grapevine, like from his other kids, he was never that good to them like he was to me. He was so good. Like he would take me and my friends to the movies, pick us up, like anything I wanted to do. I was doing it.
But do you think that's because you were like, there was favoritism, or was it because you were
maybe he felt like he had a second chance? I don't know.
Well, I mean, there's also the thing about you holding it down in school. You were doing your thing in school. You're gifted. You're smart. You're responsible.
Or it was the other kids. Are there any girls in there?
Oh, it was his youngest child was the same age as me.
But
she was the
are
same.
there girls? Because I was gonna say, if you're the only girl between those, like his other kids,
She was a girl.
Oh, okay.
She was
Because I
a
was
girl.
gonna say, you know,
Now,
you
there
have
were-
like daddy's girl, you know.
There was others. Ultimately, I think he had about 7 kids with the last one. Now, here's the thing: the last child,
Brady Bunch.
she was something. She was something strange. She was the stuff she would say. Like I said, when I had met, you know, my mom got with him when I was in like the 5th grade, or whatever. And so when I officially met her, this was like 6th grade, 7th grade. The stuff she would talk about, it was just like, why are you experiencing this at 12?
Mm-hmm.
So it was just very inappropriate. So she didn't stay too long after that because I was just like, yeah, that's weird. Like, what other teenager is or preteen thinking about stuff like that? So she ended up going back to wherever she was at, and I never seen her again ever. I never seen her again. And so we, like I said, we moved back to the harbor. I got into the band. I was so excited, and I was doing all that. Now, the main reason why I joined a lot of these groups and all this was because, first and foremost, I didn't like being at home. And we had a nice house, full basement. We had a really, really nice house. Because the vibe was strange. It was weird, right? And I didn't want to be at home. I was always at my friend.
Why was the vibe so strange?
So back then I couldn't pinpoint it. I didn't understand it. So I was like, I don't know. I was like, the vibe is weird. Also, my mom really didn't come out her bedroom often. She really didn't come out her bedroom, and I didn't know why. Like I didn't know why, but also I really wasn't focused on that because I was focused on everything I had going on at school, my, I guess, social life and academics. But one of the reasons is I always felt like I was by myself. I always felt like I was alone. So I made sure that I was always in something. If you volunteer, and I'm volunteering. If there was times when if Will wasn't, like, his dance group wasn't dancing, I would dance in another group just to be like, I'm practicing, I'm dead, because I did not like being at home. I did not like being at home. So freshman year was fine. Sophomore year was good. Again, every summer I go to Upper Bound. We all would go to Upper Bound. Everybody was, well, not everybody, but everybody went to Upper Bound the year before. We all go to Upper Bound, see our friends from different schools and things like that. And then, you know, we would come back to school. So Upper Bound is in Kalamazoo. Kalamazoo is where my family is at, right?
Right.
So I even stopped coming home on the weekend. So Sunday through Friday, there was the bus that picked us up on Friday. I started staying in Kalamazoo on the weekends because I didn't go home.
Right. So
I got into the
just living.
It definitely was. People,
so there's a little bit,
as you know,
there's a little bit of lag. It's breaking up. I just want to take a second just to regroup. I don't know if I can be heard, but if so, I'm just gonna reiterate. So you said that you had went to Kalamazoo, correct?
I went to Western Michigan University, the Upper Bound program. That's what it was called. And so eventually I started staying in Kalamazoo on the weekend. Go to my aunt's house. So then, that was good. My junior year starts, and everything is going good. Everything is copacetic, right? I come home from school. This time, I don't even know how I got home from school. Normally, my stepdad take me to school. I would walk to my best mom, or my stepdad would pick me up.
Yeah.
This day, I think I took the bus, like the school bus. I never really took the school like ever. And I came home, and my stepfather was gone. And I was like, nowadays, he had bought me a computer. This is when everybody had like the computers back part was a different color. I don't know that's the time, but the back part, and you couldn't be on the phone at the same time. All that on MySpace popping, and as soon as you get on MySpace, your music turn, and not long before this, whatever. And then I come home, he's gone. And I'm like, oh, okay, well,
but what you mean? What you mean he gone? Not there, like all his stuff is gone.
My mom told me that he left, and I was like, okay, when he come back, she was like, I don't think he comes back. And I was like, what do you mean you don't think he comes back? And so she explained to me that lawsuit he had won. He had won a lawsuit. And he
so he won the lawsuit. You came home one day.
That was that morning for the last time.
This is your stepdad. The stepdad that's been giving you to school, sort of, and making you his favorite. Damn.
His favorite. Yeah. He had left, and that morning he dropped me off. That was the last time I saw him. I actually did see him one other time, years down the line. So I never talked to him. Never talked to him. That was the last time.
I'm going to jump in there for a minute because we are still kind of experiencing some kind of static and jumping around whenever you talk. And I don't know if it is happening when I talk as well. We were doing so good here, and I don't want to end the episode at a point where, we're learning more, and then maybe we'll try and reconvene by figuring things out before we go to the next episode. But it seems like it's running fine when I talk. Manny, can you reiterate some of the things that she had said? Because I missed some of it. I don't know if the viewers had missed some of it.
Well, Patra was telling us that her stepfather, she came home one day and he was gone. And he was just completely gone. His stuff was gone. It wasn't like he just went missing. All his stuff was gone. And according to Patra's mom, he won a lawsuit and just said, bye, I'm gone. You ain't getting this. So that morning when he took her to school or to a friend's house so they could go to school or whatever, that was the last time she ever saw her stepdad. And this is the same stepdad we've been talking about. The same stepdad just punked out and said, I'm gone. And I mean, I don't know. It definitely was to me.
It definitely was. He was,
right.
He was not present at all. So even though there was some strange things, like the wives that died, there were 7 other kids and things like that, definitely treated me like his own. Young girls with their stepfathers, and that was not my experience.
Terrible. But since I think we want to move a little bit forward because Michael expressed the technical difficulties. Okay. So let's jump ahead to your senior year, most important year of high school.
Junior year, we moved to Kalamazoo. Right, not long after that. Right. We moved to Kalamazoo.
Because you had family there.
Correct. I had family there. I had actually quite a lot. The auntie I'm talking about with the kids, that's my uncle's wife. So I had my uncle, my auntie, that auntie, and then 2 of my mom's other sisters. They lived there, their kids there. So I moved there, and that was a traumatic experience because Kalamazoo Central was Ben Harbor's #1 rivalry in every sport that we had.
So it's your rival. Yep.
Yeah, it was our rival. So not only was I known as, the girl from Benton Harbor, but I was bullied more by teachers than students, but I was bullied, or students tried to bully me, girls were upset that I guess I was considered like the exotic person, like, because I wasn't like them.
Sure.
I had teachers tell me that I was stupid. The teacher that was over the track team, I threw the shot put since I was in the 7th grade. So he told me, well, you got to audition. Nobody else got to audition for the track team to throw the shot put. Who's auditioning? This is not a champion winning team. Y'all a regular team, just like everybody else in the district.
In other words, Kalamazoo, y'all trash. Go ahead.
They definitely made me feel like I was beneath them because Ben Harbor is considered the hood. Let's just be clear on that. So I made myself stand out. Because I was from Ben Harbor, I was in the band. Majority of my wardrobe was orange and black because we're the Ben Harbor Tigers. I could go 3 weeks wearing orange and black and not wear the same thing, and I did that.
Damn. Okay.
I sure did. With a new pair of sneakers, I always had sneakers, so I sure did. You was gonna know if you gonna pick on me. You gonna know. It was one time at this pep rally. They had the DJ, and there was again. Remember, I could dance, and the girls was getting out there dancing, and I ate their ass up. I ate their ass up. Do you hear me? I ate their ass up. Period. Ate them up. And again, I went to Kalamazoo. My cousins were there, and they were. I wouldn't say they was popular, but they was just good kids. And everyone was like, "Oh, that's your cousin. She can dance. Oh, don't try to be my friend now. Don't try to."
Right. Shady.
Don't try to be my friend now. I don't want y'all boyfriends. I don't want that. And so, as I'm at Kalamazoo Central, I'm going back to Ben Harbor every weekend because that's where I want to be. That's where it's fun. That's where I want to be.
Even though the vibe wasn't right at that house?
So now we're in Kalamazoo. So when I'm going back to Ben Harbor, I'm going to Wheelhouse.
Oh, okay.
I would be going because we would be we had competition. I'm still dancing.
Okay.
I'm going to dance. That's one thing I'm going to do. I'm going to dance. So now my senior year come, upper bound, do the whole upper bound thing, right? My senior year come, I wanted my blanket. You do 4 football seasons or 4 years of band, you get this blanket. Woo. I go back to Ben Harbor and do football season.
Right.
I go back because I need all my accolades. I need everything. I'm not walking around no maroon and white. I bleed orange and black. So then after that, I was like, well, once football season over, I can go back to Kalamazoo if I need to. I just need to do homecoming. It was the last game. Right. So homecoming came. I did the intro with the drum majors, all that. I feel out, and that was it. I went back to Kalamazoo. So when I go back to Kalamazoo, because that's where my mama, I was living with a different set of my friends because that's what I wanted. Like your senior year of Ben Harbor High School is like everything. It's so much to do. It's so much love. It's so live. Like it's everything. So I was gonna have all that.
Right.
So then I go back to Kalamazoo. And when I transfer back, that's when they tried to say that, oh, you don't have enough credits to graduate. Well, I could have graduated last year because I've had more than enough credits because Upper Brown gives you a half a credit for every semester that you're in it. Plus you get credit for the summertime. Oh. So I was already 5 credits ahead.
So what happened?
Kalamazoo Central made me, they tried to say I didn't have enough to have, I was missing 1 credit, and I had to do, on every Wednesday, I have to go to this program with like pregnant girls and like criminal boys. They made me, yes. And they wouldn't help me get there. So it was like our turn to school every Wednesday for like 2 hours. I feel like I was in there with killers and strippers. I feel like they only did that to me though. But I didn't have a I wanted to graduate.
Right. So does that mean you went to homecoming with a special song?
That's not how I homecoming said it. There's a dance afterwards. But so you wearing your jogging pants and t-shirt because you're gonna sweat. You got your hair pulled back, the girl's gonna have their hair back in the ponytail. You're gonna have your class shirt, your jogging pants, and you're not there to sip a drink and talk. You play the music from the beginning to the end, and we gonna dance. I know you would have thought we had a 3-hour workout. like we were like drenched, like in sweat. Like Kalamazoo Central was different. You wore formal gowns and all that, but not us. We don't want that. That's prom. Homecoming. Turn that music on. That's it. And we're literally dancing from the time, because that's what we're known for. We're creatives. New Harbor is a very creative place. Like, even though it's a small city, it's a very creative place. So you came there to dance.
Okay, but I guess because that sounds like the type of environment Michael Bowie would like. But does that mean like throughout like your senior year, you didn't have like your fair share of heartbreaks and love stories, boyfriends?
So I told you the guy that I grew up with, you know, me and him pretty much like was long distance, I guess, kind of sort of like that. But honestly, my focus really wasn't on that. My focus was on dancing. I was trying to get into HBCU and graduated, because I told you they had me at the school class with the strippers and the criminals. So, and then I was just trying to get through and at least enjoy the time that I had left. So I did go back to Kalamazoo Central. I did graduate from Kalamazoo Central. I also went to prom. I'm so sorry. I also went to prom at Kalamazoo Central, and I went with Will. And we went, I don't know if y'all know, Mariah Carey sung the national Star Spangled Banner, and she found a wizard's gown. So I had a gown like that. That's the gown that I wanted. I had a gown like that. I got it made. So that was like viral. Like, we went viral for that. And still to this day, people, when prompted to come up, people still share that photo of us. And I had on the gown jersey dress all the way down, you know, ball gown jersey dress.
You went viral before viral was a thing, huh?
Viral was a thing. And even to this day, when prompts come up and everybody getting their dresses made, everybody talk about me and Willie, how we was the first ones that did it. After that, I graduate. I did get into HBCU, which was one I wanted to, just Bethune-Cookman College. At that time, that's what's called College Nazi University. And I was super excited to go. Right? I was super excited to go. So I had my graduation party, and that night I went back to the Harbor, and I stayed in the Harbor. And the relationship I have with Willie's family is they're literally like my second family. Okay, so I can stay there for days, months. It doesn't matter. Like, no one's gonna question me. They gonna show me love, and that's just what it was. When I did go back to Kalamazoo, that's when my dad was supposed to help with me getting. There was still a little bit of money left that I needed to go to school. And he just couldn't help me for out the blue, right? Who's the person who did not show up to my graduation? I think he gave my mama like $200, and if you know me, $200 is just that's barely for the food. My mom worked 3 jobs my senior year to provide my prom dress, my graduation party, everything that I needed. She literally worked 3 jobs.
Damn. Okay.
There's times where, Jostens, you get your cap, your gown, and your signs and all that. She would write over a check, her whole check that she got from the company to make sure I had what I needed. No questions asked. Seeing your pictures, she hadn't had no sleep. She was a hairstylist, as I told y'all, or previously, she was a hairstylist. Anything I needed, whatever I needed, she made it happen. I said I wanted these shoes at this release on this day. I had them shoes. So she made it happen.
Winding down to the end of this episode, I want to evaluate that senior year. I mean, you had the prom, you had the graduation. Everything was kind of going good. How did that senior year kind of end? Is kind of like that last point that I kind of want to touch base on.
So I came back to Kalamazoo because I was getting everything needed to go to Bethune-Cookman. I didn't care how I got there. I was going to get there and I was going to go. That day, as I told you, I had already graduated. As I was in Upper Brown through the years, my cousins started coming to Upper Brown too, my sister cousins. So I have one that's a year right under me and the one that's 2 years under me. So I was a year under her. So we end up going Upper Brown together, and I graduated, and they start going Upper Brown. So this particular day, I come back and I go up to Western to see them because it was also my cousin's 17th birthday. That's the same day, we get a call. We get a call about my younger cousin who was in an accident, but we're thinking like a fender bender, right? Mm-hmm. They're like, okay, well, everybody needs to meet at the hospital. We're going to see them at the hospital. It was my cousin's 17th birthday. So we're excited to go out to eat. We're excited to enjoy. We get to the hospital. We Realizing we're at the hospital for like 4 hours, right? We're like, okay, where are the other kids? So it was my cousin Shay, and it was my mom's best friend's son was in the car as well as my mom's best friend. So this best friend of my mom had been her best friend since she was in kindergarten. Mm-hmm. And so they brought in my mom's best friend. Mm-hmm. We still waiting for the kids to come in. We're like, okay, we've been out here for like 4 hours. It was in the summertime, so it was a beautiful day. We're outside the hospital just talking, and it actually like, okay, it's been $5. It's been $6. So then a representative of the hospital asks, okay, everybody coming to this area, and they tell the kids were killed in the accidents. So the boy in the accident, which was my mom's best friend's son, he was 13. My cousin was 12.
Damn.
And they were killed. The dump truck fell. The guy say he was choking on a lozenge. Failed to stop at the stop sign, and the dump part fell over and smashed the van.
What? That's some.
So how did that affect you? I mean, that's your senior year. And this goes
so my cousin, she was the only child for her mother, which is my mom's younger sibling, and so she was my sister cousins, but like my mom and that sibling was tight. They're like 17 months apart or something like that. So they're really, really close. So me and that cousin are super close because, our parents are really, really close. They're siblings, but they're, really close in age. And so it was, I honestly, I didn't say anything. My older sister cousin, she ran. They couldn't find her for almost for hours. She struck off running. She was on the track team too, but she struck off running because she was really like the mother hen to all of us. So when we were ever left alone with Bahende, it was better off together and apart. She was the one who was cooking it, but she's only like a year and some change older than me.
Sure.
But her and her siblings are my uncle's children. So my mom and her younger sibling was always together. So I was with my cousin Shay all the time, like all the time. And so after I can come back, it was a sense of relief. And when I first said that to somebody, they chewed me out. Mm-hmm. Why would you say that? That's your cousin. I was like, if you knew what my cousin went through, she's better off where she at than suffering. She's been suffering at 9 and 8 and 10 years old. Suffering from childhood trauma for years. Obviously, this was a time when I wasn't around because I never experienced any of that. She had been suffering for years.
Well,
so
I just wanted to, because we're running short on time, and I think this is a good point to end because everything that we've learned from your story, just it's from so many different kinds of things that you have dealt with from a young age, even up to this high school age of losing people, murder, gang violence, et cetera, kind of being that independent individual at such a young age, bullying because of where you're from. I think that speaks to volumes for you in terms of strength, and I hope that anybody that's watching kind of becomes that individual that takes away something from it if they're going through those similar things, because you're still here, and to just go through everything that you have gone through and to be still as strong and still as